Well, what's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review, a solo results to give you. Since last I can remember, the one thing I think of maybe 2020 is when I did. It depends which the months I did it on. Pertains to a solo Dynamite results of it. But yeah, this will be your AEW Dynamite results from May 28th, 2021. This was the go home show for Double or Nothing 2021. Your commentators were Excalibur, good old Gerald Jim Ross, and Tony Shafani at Dave's place in Jacksonville, Florida, with the stage being back to its original form because we had crowds there. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. We had shock. I didn't expect any crowds to be there at all. I expected them to be there at Double or Nothing, which is gonna be later on tonight. Which is why this is gonna be uploaded before the buy-in or before the pay-per-view. And yeah, but either way, I was so thrilled, so happy to see these crowds back in this building. It wasn't a full capacity though, but it was enough crowds there that you can hear the crowds and you can see the crowds, and they were all hyped up for the show, and I was hyped up for the show because of the crowds there. The important things when it pertains to pro wrestling in general is having the live audience back there and to have their voice be heard, their opinions of the matter, of who they want to cheer, who they want to boo, what they want to chant, and all that, and just to have that experience back in that building, and an experience that that everyone is seeing in the living rooms or however you was watching the show. It's just a feeling there that it's just unbelievable. And we're not there yet though, folks. Even though we got some crowds back, we're not there yet because we're still in this pandemic that needs to go away. And I guess when it comes to the vaccinations, it's really doing its job to for a slow process to get this through. Because Lord, we needed that for a while, and I'm glad things are getting back to where it was. Again, it's gonna be a slow process of it, but we'll get in there. We'll get there. But that's not wasting any time, folks. I'll let you know how I feel about the show. Now I already did my dark elevations. Well, it should be the other way around. I did my dark elevations and dark results of that review already. If you haven't seen it, go check it out wherever you can. And once you're done with that, you can come to to watch this one right here. So with that being said, let's get right into it here. As we start with the opening match. The opening match was, let's see. I'll find it right now. Just give me a moment, folks. Right now it's buffering. Okay. It was Darby Allen coming out with the Icon Sting versus Cesar Bononi, being accompanied by Ryan Nemeth, Peter Avalon, and J.D. Drake. And the match itself, Darby Allen was it's also a showcase for him, and Cesar Bononi did his thing too. To me, it was more of Darby Allen on this match than it was of Cesar Bononi. And you did I can't remember if they came out before or after the match. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, because that's gonna be the match for Double or Nothing. Sting and Darby Allen versus Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. But as I remember now, they come out. They came out after the match with Darby Allen getting the win, and there you go. He won with a coffin drop, by the way. So then we get to the promo from Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky says that they just expect them to come out in the fashion clothes with and fight for freedom, to say. And then Scorpio Sky continues saying that at Double or Nothing, it will be the end of one legend and the beginning of two more, which is between pertains to Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Also, Cesar Bononi attacks Darby Allen and Sting, the rest of the group too. Which by the way, they're called the Wingmen. Now they used to be called Picture Perfect, but now they're called the Wingmen. They all attacked Sting and Darby Allen, but they fought back. Just lets Paige and Scorpio to get into the ring and lay them some shots on Sting and Darby Allen, and then the Dark Order came out. And then also they started leaving the ring, being chased away, and the Dark Order and along with Sting and Darby Allen stand on the side, each side of one another, and that was it. So yeah, I like the beginning. I like the opener of the show. The opening match was good. Wasn't that wasn't that much to talk about, but I still enjoyed the match for what it was, and the crowd really made the match too, by the way. So, and that's all there is to it. Next, we get to a segment that was a complete waste of time, a waste of TV time, a waste of people's time over in Daily's place. A waste of a segment for this build-up between Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo. So yeah, Paul White coming out there to help host this weigh-in for Anthony Ogogo and Cody Rhodes. Now I don't mind them doing a weigh-in, because you see this a lot in MMA. I think even TNA Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, at one point this too with EC3 and Bobby Lashley at one point. Because they're making a big field fight out of those two. Yeah, it was to be true too. Now I think about it, because EC3 was the face and Lashley was the heel. And the others too that has some more elements of MMA. And this and also in boxing too, by the way. Boxing does this too, by the way. It's two weigh-ins. But this whole thing, because Anthony Ogogo is a boxer, or Olympic boxer, and Carlos is not, by the way. But yeah, they definitely needed to do a weigh-in and everything. So we get the factory coming out there, which is QT Marshall, the leader, with Aaron Solo, Nick Comoroto, and Anthony Ogogo, who's gonna be in the match against Cody Rhodes at Double or Nothing. And some other guy, I can't really recall who the other guy was. He looked a little bit like Anthony Ogogo. Maybe that's his brother, I guess. I don't know. But the crowds were booing QT Marshall, which that's the goal behind it. At least they're booing a heel, and they're booing these guys too. On the factory faction. So if anything came out of it, of the fans returning, it's that they're booing the heels. Cody Rhodes comes out then with the Nightmare Family, whichever you want to say. They had basically they had a lot of them coming out there, by the way. If I recall, I think I saw the Gun Club out there at one point. You see Red Velvet, Lee Johnson, R. Anderson, Justin Rose. And they had other ones too that they didn't already mention who the other ones were. So we get this way in, and they start stripping down to their boxers, both Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo. Well, one of them went first, which was Anthony Ogogo. He went first. If I recall. No, actually, as I read now, Cody Rhodes went first to get a weigh-in of Cody Rhodes. So Paul White is doing the scale to weigh in on Cody Rhodes' weight, and he couldn't figure out how to do it. So this was a complete waste of time. That's one of the things that was a complete waste of time. That you had them use one of those scale things. Like why could you just have Tony Schiavone host the thing? Because Tony Schiavone does a way better job than Paul White does. Because Paul White admitted, I think he even said it on there that he doesn't know how to do this. But man, that took too long. So then Anthony Ogogo's turn. He starts showing his boxing shorts, which it was it's the boxing shorts of the United Kingdom flag, and you got the crowd chanting Austin Powers. If y'all seen the Austin Powers movie, y'all know what I'm talking about. Especially on the first part, Oh my God, that's basically what it was. But hey, you can't hit the guy for loving his country, But so he gets weighed in. About it, Kuro's weight in is 218 pounds, and Anthony Ogogo's weight in is 219 pounds. And I see myself, okay, so what's the point of all this? Well, QT Marshall says that because Anthony Ogogo is weights more than Cody Rhodes, he got the weight advantage. And I see myself, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's pro wrestling, because if weight and weight, if the weights and size really does matter, then guys like 1-2-3 Kid when I got a win over Razor Ramon in his career. Daniel Bryan, which I want to say, got a win career over Kane so many times. The Big Red Monster, Big Red Machine, the Corporate Kane, wherever type, same guy. Excuse me. And Rey Mysterio Jr. will not have gotten a win over Kevin Nash in WCW. So what was the point of all this? It was just something they could do to waste TV time. To me, it was just a waste of TV time. To me, this was a completely pointless segment that did not get me interested to watch the match I love between these two. Now I'm still gonna watch the match though, because I think that they can have a good match. But everything they've been put up for between United States versus United Kingdom, and then after this, why would I watch this match? Why would I care about any interest of coming into Double or Nothing to watch Cody Rhodes beat Anthony Ogogo, even though it should be the other way around. Anthony Ogogo should get the win. The American Dream, Cody Rhodes versus the Anti-American Dream, you could say, I guess, and Anthony Ogogo, who's all about the United Kingdom. So yeah, and Paul White has some heated interactions with QT Marshall a few times, especially on Dark Innovations. Excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. So yeah, like I said, it was Paul White and QT Marshall having some interactions for weeks on Dark Innovations, whatever they call it, past whatever, and then they show a lot on here too, which is good. It's a predictable prediction there that Paul White is that wild card coming into the Battle Royale, the Casino Battle Royale. Even though he's supposed to be like a commentator, I guess commentator on there, but don't sleep on on Paul White that he might enter into there because QT Marshall's in there. If QT Marshall's still in the match though, then yes, he's big. The big surprise of the wild card, Joker, is gonna be Paul White in that match. Now, I would have been more interested if they would have just done a debate between Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo. At least that would have been more better. Even though if it was to be a debate, I knew what's going to be a debate about United States, United Kingdom, that whole thing. And then where it's going to lead to their to their wrestling, and the feud and all that. That would have been way better than what they did here. This was terrible. Terrible. And again, it didn't make me it did not make me excited and make me any interest to me to watch this match between Cody Rhodes, the American Dream, versus Anthony Ogogo, and an anti-American who hates America. He's all about United Kingdom. So we get to a hype video of the Stadium Stampede match that the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle are going to be having. That if the Inner Circle lose, they have to disband, and we'll get to more of that later. And they also show a clip about how the Elite defeated the Inner Circle last year. And last year's Stadium Stampede was a success. It was great. Some people didn't like it. That's dumb. I'm telling you how I think about it. I thought it was great. So yes, and that's what I say from there. And then also we cut to the backstage where we see Powerhouse Hobbs and Christian Cage just fighting. I don't know what caused the fight, but they start fighting. And also we get BJ Whitmer and Jerry Lynn coming out of nowhere, and they have a couple of officials too. Pulling them away. They, I don't know. I guess to build more heat between these two because they're both gonna be in the Casino Battle Royale. And on top of that, because Christian Cage is in the program with Team Taz, and now from there, that's gonna be the program leading up to it. And another thing too, they had to go Real House because Ricky Starks, he can't compete right now because he's got that neck injury, unfortunately. So a neck fracture or something like that. More chance to what happened with him in the match with Alan Page. So that's why Ricky Starks got nothing to do right now for months now, and that's why they got Powerhouse Hobbs to do this with Christian Cage, because I believe that was supposed to be Christian Cage and Ricky Starks fight for backstage and all that. and it's unfortunate he can't do it. So. All right, so then we get to the Hangman, Adam Page, who's still over, versus the bad boy, Joey Janela. And there was no Saint Kiss at ringside for him. But even though Saint Kiss was there though in the crowd with the rest of the wrestlers too, by the way, that they were in their own sections where they're playing fans. But yeah. But you had Taz also on commentary too to watch this match, and the match here was between the Hangman Adam Page and Joey Janela. Adam Page looked good. Joey Janela didn't look good. That's the best way I could point out of this match. And somewhere Adam Page got busted up from the mouth. I don't know where from the mouth, but match to continue on though. And then also later on, like somewhere from in the tail end of the match, also Adam Page, I don't know how it happened, but apparently got busted open from the head now. Got split open from the head, and it kept on going down, the blood. Until finally, the match ended with the Hangman Adam Page going for the buckshot lariat to George Janela. And Janela sold it like shit. This was George Janela's terrible performance. After the match, Taz gets on the mic, distracts Adam Page. So also Brian Cage comes out. You also got Hook and Ricky Starks coming out. And the Hangman Adam Page gets a microphone. Hold on a second. Oh, I got it. I see the problem now. There we go. Okay, so the Hangman Adam Page, he says, hold on a second, folks. I'm sorry, I just lost it. I gotta get back now. I went way too far. So give me one moment. I'm back now, folks. Sorry about that. So I'm using my tablet now here. So yeah, so much for the TV acting up like a bitch. So back I was saying. So as Taz comes promo and everything, distract Adam Page, for the beatdown that he's going to get by Team Taz. The Hangman Adam Page got a microphone while he's still bleeding, by the way. Which is very uncomfortable that he's this has happened to him, But he tells Taz to shut up. He tells that he basically says that they done the same thing month after month with Team Taz jumping him from behind. Page says that he expects that from Taz, but he doesn't expect that from Cage, which exactly. Saying that Page doesn't think that Cage needs these guys to fight him. Says that how about you lead the guys lead these assholes, I should say, out of it and fight him like a man at the pay-per-view. Cage agrees, and they sort of look at each other face to face, and that right there, that sold me to watch the Hangman and Page versus Brian Cage more than Anthony Ogogo and Cody Rhodes did on that night. This got me hyped up to see Adam Page versus Brian Cage. Now they had matches before, on here, on the AEW, except it wasn't a clean one. So we were getting a clean fight this time between these guys. No more shenanigans. No more it's distractions. None of that. It's just between the Hangman versus the Machine. That's a good by the way tagline for this match. So there you go. That's all. Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. This was funny about this. They go to Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley after this whole thing was over with Page and Cage, right? So once we see Kingston and Moxley cut this promo about their sneakers that they stole from them, they may cut the commercial. And they come out for commercial, and they right back to what they was. So basically, this was obviously a taped, real promo. And I'm like, I get the feeling that these guys are not professionals. Whoever was doing camera scene, the cameras of angles, the segue to a commercial or segments of that and everything. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. If you knew it was going to commercial, why even play the video promo in the first place? Just makes it looks unprofessional. The way that and it looks like it just makes it look like they're they're incompetent to know what they're doing. Incompetent to know what they're doing. Incompetent. Anyways, so they talk about the match they're gonna have at the pay-per-view, and that was it. Now there was no Young Bucks on the show here, folks. I don't know why there was no Young Bucks there, but whatever. But yeah, am I excited for the match too? Not really. But I'll watch that more. I'm more interested in this match of the Wild Things, of Moxley and Kingston versus the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Titles more than Gogo and Cody Rhodes. So Shafani, he wants an in-ring talk with Orange Cassidy. Instead of Orange Cassidy, though, Pac comes out instead and basically gets the microphone away from Tony Shafani and tells him to leave. So Pac says that Omega has only been ducking and dodging him of the world title reign, of his whole world title reign, and it's been pathetic. He calls Omega, and also Don Callis comes out on the big screen, says that Pac is a dangerous man and they want nothing to do with him. So Omega, basically all this distraction was for Pac. It's for Eddie, not Eddie, but Kenny Omega meant to say to make an attack on Pac, but Pac sees him coming afterwards and then takes him out, and then the Good Brothers come out and beats him down. The Good Brothers comes out to chase away the Good Brothers. The Lucha Bros, the Lucha Bros chases away the Good Brothers, meant to say. And then Kenny Omega is back up. Kenny Omega looks to go for the One-Winged Angel onto Pac, right? This one went too long, by the way, folks. And everything they did here, like Penta didn't know what to do next. He was standing there, like he was supposed to stand. He was supposed to go there with Ray Fiennes to chase away the Good Brothers. And then he finally understand what he had to do, and he finally went with Ray Fiennes to go chase the Good Brothers, because he was still in the ring there. Because Kenny Omega is selling and everything, and it was a mess. But and then Kenny Omega taking way too long to go for the One-Winged Angel because Orange Cassidy came out. Orange Cassidy comes out. I'm like, I don't know why you went for Orange Cassidy. Because we all know how Orange Cassidy is. He just walks, lazy and all. He could just easily give him the One-Winged Angel already. And Pac, had to it was just a mess. It was terrible. So basically, Orange Cassidy came out. He has an envelope that was given by Don Callis and Kenny Omega. The copy of the envelope, or should I say, letter of it. And basically to give his answer to the Gallagher match, where it could just be Pac versus Kenny Omega. So he hands it to Kenny Omega. He opens up the envelope, and one piece of paper came out. Now here's the thing: the envelope was not sealed. It wasn't sealed. Kenny Omega was pretending it was sealed and everything, and then he was pretending he had a paper cut because one paper came out of the letter, which is one piece of paper that was from the copy of the contract that from the sign waiver that he ripped. So right there, it was that right there was also a complete mess too. So Kenny Omega was trying to to save face and all that, pretend he had a paper cut and all on the envelope that was not even sealed. And then he gets the paper out, and then what surprise, pieces of paper front, and then he starts doing that. Orange Cassidy does the orange punch to Omega. Omega sold it like he's having a seizure, and Pac sold it like he got paralyzed. Yeah, because Pac came back up too, by the way. So Orange Cassidy stands tall, thumbs up, and that was it. This was terrible. It was still fine at first when Pac came out there and kind of promo and everything, but then everything went downhill ever since then. I mean the match would be good though between Pac and Omega and Cassidy, but the delivery, the execution was bad. But I am more excited to see this match more than Anthony Ogogo and Cody Rhodes. So, then we get to Jay Cargill being interviewed by Tony Shafani. But then Matt Hardy comes in to interrupt. And Matt Hardy says, to her, you know, well, the thing is, he was going to say something, for her to join along with, the Hardy family office, but then also Mark Sterling, he jumps in to let Matt Hardy know that she made a decision for Jade Cargill to be with him, and Matt Hardy was losing his mind and everything after that, and then he storms off. Now, here's the thing. This has been this whole thing with Jade Cargill. What she's looking for, they're trying to set her up for a manager because they feel like that she doesn't she's not really that good on mic skills. I mean, she can talk, but her delivery sometimes is not that great at all. And for good reason too, because I know why because she's nervous and all that. She's never done this anything like this before, so you could give her a pass on that. But they feel like the need to give her a manager, to do a strong talking for her, where she can still talk, but just limit her talking abilities, the highway that weak point that she's got. So they have to say little, but her manager Mark Sterling can talk for her. Kind of like the whole thing with Paul Heyman doing a lot of talking, and sometimes Brock Lesnar will talk. That's the feeling I got of why they're doing this with Jade Cargill. Now I was gonna say this: they're doing this all wrong, by the way. With Jade Cargill, when they're doing something with they want to set her up, have managers. And they got Vicky Guerrero talking at one point, in his video package, and Matt Hardy out as well. And it's the thing, you really don't have that much managers there to begin with, anyways. I mean, yeah, you got Jake Roberts, you got Taz, you got again Matt Hardy, who also could sometimes wrestle, Vicky Guerrero. I mean, who else is there? With Jensen being manager. Oh yeah, there's Tully Blanchard, which tends to have a woman's perspective in the Pinnacle. That would have been awesome too. The problem is, and then you add in Mark Sterling coming out of nowhere to be the manager for Jade Cargill. They can make money together and all that. The problem is, this supposed to be like the whole thing with Randy Savage. When he came into the WWF, and then you got a pile of managers coming up to him after his match when he had. He looks great. He wrestles great. He's got a great personality, a great charisma. He's got a great colorful style of factions and all that. And you had this group of managers like Bobby Heenan, Jimmy Hart, Johnny, how do I say his last name again? Johnny Valiant. Yeah, Johnny Valiant. Mr. Fuji. I think Mr. Fuji was there. The Grandmaster, the Grand Wizard, I think he was there. Freddie Blassie was there. I think Captain Lubano was there too. List these managers. They were going up to him and like, manage me, let me be a manager and all that, right? That's what AEW should have done with Jade Cargill, because we all know how good Jade Cargill is in the ring, and how good she is, period. With the whole thing on she's the total package, not just her presence and her physical appearance and what she brings to the table as a wrestler too. She's got the look and all that. They could have done something like that, but instead they just were lazy about it. They didn't know how to go about things. So as I was saying, they don't know how to go about things for this whole thing. They could have done something like that, but instead they didn't do it. Instead they did it in their own ways, which it was trash. I'm just gonna say as it is, it was trash. So, but Jade Cargill made her mind. She's got a manager now, so there you go. Jade Cargill versus Kylan King. Now, like I said, Jade Cargill now it's got a manager in Mark Sterling, and Jade Cargill won the match, obviously. But in this match, Kylan King barely got any offense. She got squashed. I expected this match to at least be a physical match. A physical matchup, because they're both the same height, almost like the same height. Because Kylan King is tall, and Jade Cargill is also tall. But I was expecting more of a fight here from for Kylan King. But instead she got squashed in this match. and I thought that was not a not good way to show off Kylan King on Dynamite against Jay Cargill. I get you want to. I get Jay Cargill was going to win here. I get you want her look strong too, but you gotta make her opponent look strong too as well. You can't just have it. You can't just have it with Jay Cargill just dominating on these female opponents. Especially when you're also pushing Kylan King on here too. Keep in mind you have months ago Kylan King beat on Dark the daughter of the Barbarian Lady Tapa, who's in MMA by the way. So on here you have her lose to a rookie who has little experience in wrestling. All I gotta say is you should treat Kylan King more better than what you did here. Jake Roberts, he says that Dante Martin will be a great champion if he can actually win the title. But Lance Archer cuts him off, cuts off Jake Roberts, by saying he doesn't want Martin. He wants Miro at the pay-per-view and is looking to take that title. And that was it. So we get to Miro defend his AEW TNT title before he gets to defend against Lance Archer against Dante Martin. Because Dante Martin has been winning matches in singles matches on Dark and also on Dark Invasions too, where he's earned his right to go at the title here. And the match here, it was just Miro dominating the match. He did sell offense from Dante Martin. At the end of the day, you knew who was going to win here, and it was Miro. Sorry about that, folks. But in the end, it was Miro, like I said, getting the win. And after the match, Jake Roberts came out with Lance Archer. Roberts says that Archer is focused and ready to to become the champion. And he says that on Sunday, Miro's fairy tale comes to an end. And then also Miro tells Jake Roberts to shut the F up. No, I'm sorry. Jake Roberts said to Miro to shut the F up. Because Miro gets on the mic and says to Roberts that he needs to shut up and stop holding Lance Archer back and let him and Lance Archer fight right now and everything. And then also they start fighting, Lance Archer and Miro. Lance Archer got the best of Miro, obviously he was, because Miro just went through a match and all. So the referees came in there, which it was a good call there. On the pull apart though, you know what, you want to bury Miro before the pay-per-view by doing that. You could give all Lance Archer that offense and that strong momentum going into the pay-per-view. So the way they did it, I thought that was fine. And I'm looking forward to this match too, by the way. Miro versus Lance Archer. I think that match is gonna be, oh my god, it's gonna be a monster match. That's basically what it's gonna be. From one monster to another. The Bulgarian monster versus the Murhawk monster, I meant to say. I was gonna say that twice, by the way, But yeah, the Bulgarian monster Miro versus the Murhawk monster Lance Archer. And one of them is gonna die. Because everybody dies. Just saying. Alright, folks, now it's time to Tony Shafani to introduce the AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida, as she's being honored after a 1-year title reign. That is unspeakable in AEW right now. She is so far, Hikaru Shida, during a difficult time of the pandemic and everything that AEW has been through. Hikaru Shida has carried the women's division on her back with the AEW Women's World title for a full year. And she comes out in a nice beautiful dress with nice beautiful makeup she's gotten on, because she is so beautiful. She even looks naturally beautiful. I remember when I first saw Hikaru Shida back at Double or Nothing in 2019 when she teamed up with Riho and Ryu Misanami. I'm assuming that was a team when they were against the other teams. I could be wrong, but don't quote me on that. When I first saw Hikaru Shida, all I thought about when I saw her, like, oh my god, she is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. The most beautiful girl I've ever seen, and I can't believe she's in wrestling. I was so I was in love. And the Riho made me fall more love on her than Hikaru Shida. But I love both of them either ways. I love them both equally. But yeah, but Hikaru Shida, man, she looked beautiful on that night. About it, this was on the Friday Night Dynamite episode because there was the NBA games going on Wednesdays, which is why they did it on the Friday instead. So not bad place to be on the Friday too, by the way, to do a Dynamite show. Friday Night Dynamite sounds way more better than Friday Night SmackDown. I'm just kidding. Friday Night SmackDown is a good name too. It's just that WWE has not been treating SmackDown as of late. When they first came on. But then again, you had guys like Eddie Guerrero was not there no more. It was not the same anymore, basically. So, back in 2005, back in those days where it was good. But anyways, but Hikaru Shida, has been received the new AEW Women's Championship belt. It's the same design and everything, but it's a little bigger and it's got gold. And I say to myself, yes. Now, I had no problem with the other belt. When I first saw the design, good. As soon as I saw how small that belt was, it could have been more bigger. Basically, the belt was made for Riho. And but then again, I think originally, I always believe this. I always believe that Smiley Kylie Ray was going to be the AEW World Champion, the first ever. But because she left during that time, there was some issues that she's going through. Riho was the second choice that they went with. So, but anyways, but hey, either way, we're glad now they got the new belt. It's a little bigger now. With a lot more gold on there. And it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful, and we can finally do away the small AEW Women's Championship belt. So Hikaru gets on the microphone and said that when she won the title, there was no fans in attendance, but tonight we are back. She says that the title is for all the fans. Yes. And just and as she kept saying all this, the doctor has come in to interrupt. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, with Rebel Reba, whatever you want to say. She makes her way to the stage and says that she made a mistake earlier when she spoke with Jim Ross. She had previously said that she was the face of the women's division, but when she wins the title, she'll be the face of the whole new era. And she says the previous era was all about 316, and this one will be DMD. So we're gonna go from the Austin era, with the Austin 316 era, to the DMD era, when she becomes the new. Let me say this: new AEW. Listen, when Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, becomes the new AEW Women's World Champion, and that's all I say. But I got a little more to say too. Hikaru Shida, that's great. Props to her, by the way. Props to her for carrying the division for a year as champion, because I believe she rightfully so deserves it, and it's unfair that this had to happen when there was no crowds there, because crowds do love Hikaru Shida. They do love her, not just her in the AEW, but also outside of AEW with her on YouTube or Instagram. She's talented. She's not just talented in the ring, but she's talented in singing, talented with other things that she does too as well. Vlogging, blogging, whatever in the way, reviews and all of that. Trying her first ever Reese's bar. So yeah, Hikaru Shida, she is well liked. She's got a fan base, a great fan base. And I forgot how many days they said she's been champion, But it's been over 365 days so far. Props to her. Unfortunately, she's gonna hold on to that belt for a couple. She held that new belt from from that Friday, and it's gonna end on Sunday tonight because it's gonna be a new champion, and her name is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky versus Dark Order's Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. And this tag team match was great. Back and forth tag team action for these guys. Evil Uno looked great too, by the way. My guy. He felt the passion when because the crowds are back now, fully back. He felt a new man coming back in all this. His last best performance he's ever had was back when the unfortunate passing of Brody Lee when they did the Brody Lee tribute show. So that was one of his best performance he did too, because it was for Brody Lee. This was all for the fans, for coming back, to Full Sail. That's what pro wrestling is all about, folks. Now, coming into the match though, I knew that Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page were gonna win, but it was still a great match here, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno didn't win, but in defeat they felt like winners. So yeah, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page won because they got the momentum now going to the pay-per-view. All of a sudden, Ethan Page said that Sunday it will be the same result. It's the heel hook, pertains to Scorpio Sky's submission move and the Eagle's Edge, and then also Sting's music hit, and you know what that means. That means all hell's gonna break loose. So Darby Allen comes out with a bunch of people dressing up as Sting with Sting mask, Sting T-shirt. So yeah, it was a Sting fest, a Stings R Us. No, it's the Sting Army. Basically, what they did from back in the days of WCW. So yeah, this was great. So Darby Allen, he goes out to Ethan Page as Scorpio Sky is laying out Sting people, and then also he hits one Sting guy, which it was the real Sting. Once that he hit the real Sting, the real Sting no-stole his offense when he first hit him. Just like when Buff Bagwell did to Sting in WCW Nitro, when the Sting Army came in there to go at the NWO, and Buff Bagwell go like this, and then boom, and then his the fake Sting, but only to realize as he's doing all his posts and everything, Sting never fell down, which means that was the real Sting behind him, and then Scorpion Death Drop, and then reveals himself to the real Sting. Hogan scary like a bitch that he is, because he is a bitch. Just saying. And now here we are with Scorpio Sky. He realized that was Sting, and Sting blasts him, and also they realized they couldn't fight back anymore. Page and Sky, and they ran away like a bunch of cowards. And there you go. That was it. I loved it, by the way. I loved it. And now it's time for the Inner Circle celebration for the last time, if it is the last time. If they do lose, which I don't think they're gonna lose either way. But I'll get to one now when I do the predictions. Art Bischoff was the host of this. He comes out and he gets on the mic and he receives some big cheers from the crowds. Good for him. And he says 25 years ago, he introduced what many consider the best stable of all time, the NWO. He didn't say NWO, but we all know what he meant. Now he has the honor to introduce the Inner Circle. So the Inner Circle comes out, and the crowds are cheering, and we're singing along Judas. And that's another great feel moment of it too. I was having fun with it too on the live reactions with the panel, and I said some funny remarks there, like because we had some trolls in the chat. So I said steroids on my mind, and then I said cupcakes on my mind, something like that. But then I become man. Judas in my mind. So yeah. I was having fun with that. But either way, the crowds were having fun with this. They were singing along. It was great having the crowds back to sing along the Judas song instead of seeing the AW dark wrestlers instead. So yeah, it was great. It was great having that again. So yeah, Jericho has a big smile on his face as all this was going on. He said it feels good to have the fans back. He then thanks Bishop for everything he's done for him in WWE of his career. And Jericho said that he wanted to make amends with Bischoff, and just like he make amends with others, since with the Inner Circle being heels all this time, and now with them being faces now, they want to make amends. Then Santana's goes a promo. Well, first of all, they show a few highlights of the Inner Circle, of their history, from the debut from Dynamite, and all the way to everything they did here. They did as well, with everything that they have done. Great memories, by the way, great memories. So then Santana, cuts a promo saying that they had. Oh, by the way, yeah, Santana's back now after being locked up in jail for stabbing, MJF in the blood and guts match. Stabbing with a fork, I should say. Santana says that they've been doing a lot of shit. They helped carry the company throughout a pandemic too, which they did. I remember those segments too, especially the segment where they did the whole Brady Bunch thing, which I forget what they call it, like the Inner Circle bunch like that. Those were good times. I wish they would still continue that one, by the way. That was a lot of fun. It was funny. It was fun. It was awesome, man. I don't know why they stopped doing that. But anyways, so he said, glad to have the fans back. He said that this is the last. If this is the last dance, he wouldn't have any other ways to do it in front of the fans. Ortiz then says that was beautiful and gives him a fist bump. And also Drake Hager says that he wants to see both the good and the hard times they've been through. Show me the hardest times that makes hard men. Those are the times to be celebrated. And then also Sammy Guevara was next to talk. And Sammy Guevara says, and by the way, as Sammy Guevara's getting to talk, Sammy Guevara is getting cheered by these crowds. Sammy. And they're like, yes. And here's the thing: if the Inner Circle is meant to lose tonight, then Sammy Guevara, as a singles wrestler, he's going to be over with these crowds. But Sammy says that that they had been do together for everything they've done. Even him coming out of the ring wearing a panther head. Because that was a thing during the time in AAA. He says there was a lot of time when they didn't have his back and didn't like it. He would do everything he can do to make sure it doesn't happen again. And thanks them for that. So Jericho talks again. Says that he was hesitant to put a group together because he doesn't play well with others. And he saw a photo of them together and felt like they look a bunch of badasses. Says that they will be it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war. They will go down in a blaze of glory if it is the last time. If they lose, everything. If it is the last time, they will tell them, "I love you," and they all got in the group hug and everything. And all those will be over from there. All of a sudden, MJF cuts a promo from the stadium, by the way, with and yet Tully Blanchard. I mean, not Tully Blanchard. Wardlow there. As that MJF's mocking the promo and everything, and all of a sudden, as they're standing there, talking that shit to the Inner Circle and Jericho, all of a sudden they got their hands on Dean Malenko, who's saying that obviously they didn't beat him up obviously because they can't he can't do anything physical because he's got Parkinson he got Parkinson's disease, Dean Malenko. Something like that Jimmy Michael J. Fox meant to say he's got. So but Malenko does take medication of that though. But Malenko has been beaten down apparently. And that's when Inner Circle decided to run towards the football stadium, or to be ambushed. It was a trap, by the rest of the Pinnacle, and they start bringing out on the inner circle, and they had tables set up for for FTR the power drive on Santana Ortiz on there. The problem is they waited way too long to do it, so that and because they all got guys like Sean Spears getting Sam Guevara in the power driver, Warlord and Jake Hager in the power driver, MJF with Jericho in the power driver, and then they was waiting for the cue, and now from Tully Blanchard, and then all of a sudden, boom, power driver. Now obviously FTR I think they did it first, and then all of a sudden they once they saw them jump off to do the power driver off them, but again with FTR it took them way too long. Basically holding them for like a good 30 seconds to all that to get them to the right position, and then pile drive on all of them, and then the pinnacle ends by putting the hands together, like this, that's just one me. So you should get my point. And that was it, and that's that was the Comb show. That was basically and the way they did it too here. They saw me want me to watch this match more than Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo. I am not excited to see that match, folks. I'm assuming they're gonna pull up a good match though, but after that segment, I am not interested to see that match at all. It didn't give me hype to see the match either. So there you go. So that's your AEW Dynamite results from May 28th, 2021. Talking about wrestling was 5 matches. And my overall rating for the show for the AEW Dynamite Golden Show edition of Double Nothing, I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10. Now, I would have gone a 9 out of 10. Maybe because the crowds are back and they made the show too. But again, there were some things on the show that did not got me interested to watch a pay-per-view. Especially when it comes to watching on a few matches of them. The Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo is one of them, obviously. The top match that they did, the hype of that match was not good. The Good Birds was not, not the Good Birds. The Young Bucks were not even there to the hype of their match against Omega and Moxley. But with Moxley and Moxley and Kingston meant to say, Moxley and Kingston, I think I meant to say. I think I said Omega and Kingston or whatever. I don't know, but Kingston and Moxley. The Wild Things, they were there to hype their match against the Young Bucks returns to burying their shoes and everything, you know that, right? From the backyard. But that still didn't do enough for me to why I should watch these guys wrestle each other at Double Nothing. But the rest of the matches they did though, returns to hype up the matches for Double Nothing. It got me interested to watch the pay-per-view, especially the returns what they're gonna do with the Casino Battle Royale. And no, in fact, I'll wait till we do the preview. So I'm gonna end right now, folks. So thank you for watching. I finally done catching up of all the wrestling reviews. Yes, hopefully that don't happen again. If it does, in the future I will apologize. But that being said, thank you for watching. For It's the Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. And now it's time for New Japan Pro Wrestling's turn for me to do catch up with them too. So, take care.